Hi, it's Graham Bibby here. I'm just doing a roundup of September, last night's market action, which started off really well, and until about 3 o'clock in the morning, with an hour to go of trading. So the evening started off quite good, and as the unemployment figures were better, home sales were better, and there was talk that the negotiations were going well for a new stimulus package in the US. However, towards the end, one senator came out and said he thought there was still a big gap between what was proposed, which is 2.2 trillion. He thought it was too much, and where they're going to end up. So this, you can see here, was a brilliant update at one stage until just before the end, when it sold off to still end up here. I know in my own portfolio at one stage I was up over 3.5%, and I ended up being basically flat. Didn't make anything, which is really frustrating because I've been watching this so closely, and that's the S&P, that's the Nasdaq. This is the S&P 500. It ended up 0.83, and at one stage it was up about 1.5–2%. Things like Lululemon, really frustrating, ended up about 1.76%, I think it was, but it was up over 3.5% at one stage. And that story is seen throughout. This is the semiconductor ETF, and that was up, getting towards 3%. And ended up, just marginally 0.13. It really pees me off because, we're towards the end of the month and it would have been good to end on a good note. And the transport index, which had started off great, and stocks like Save, which a few people have got, you can see the extent that it was up here. It was almost up 16.80, which was about 5.5%, and it ended up 0.5%, which is nothing. Love, some people have still got Southwest Airlines, and again, that was approaching 39, and it ended up, or not ended up, it ended down 0.29, so it was up about 2.5–3%, and ended marginally down. So a very disappointing night. The only good thing was the overall indices ended up and volume was up. However, when you end like this towards the bottom, and we were lower than this at one stage, we sort of came back a bit. We were only up 0.3, I think it was, at about half an hour to go before the market closed, and ended up 0.74. So we're still, and you see here this top, and it could be this top. So there's still considerable resistance there. This was resistance here. It was kind of resistance or band around here where we stopped. We really need to go above 3-4 on the S&P to be really sure. And what's a bit negative is, this is above this support level, which is good, but we ended down after being very nicely up on the transport index. We ended down. So, one stage last night, I'm the hallelujah. The analysis is working. The Facebook breakout here is coming true. We're up 0.04 after being up, I think it was 2.5%. So, last night your portfolios would have all been up somewhere around 3.5%, I would say, as an average, some a bit more, some a bit less, and I guess most of you ended flat, if not down. So it's really annoying. I don't want to use a swear word. This is still, the bottoms in here. This is higher on the S&P 500, so that, I guess, is good, but it would have been so good if we'd ended towards this high here. That would have been so positive for a return to this level. So it's the Bibster saying, I hope you've sent in your month-end valuations. On balance, as you can see here, this downtrend appears to have been broken. We appear to be in an uptrend. We've hit overhead resistance. We really need some good news in order for this market to move higher. So thank you very much for listening, and just know that I'm on it. We've got a toe in the water. We've increased our exposure a little bit, and looking forward to a more positive October. Bye bye for now.